Welcome everybody to Sports Back Talk with Boley and Ringer.
Not as big a crowd tonight.
It's not as big
Probably
a crowd as last
32 people I counted.
week. It was at least that last week.
Oh, there's all of that. The whole back room was filled too.
But as I look over here to my right, stage, look at the painting, the wall's done.
Yeah.
The pictures are up, looks outstanding.
Got the new walk-in coolers going to be coming in here. They're going to be bringing their beer brands up to like 32 as far as different varieties.
We were supposed to talk about something. Paul was going to be here this week and remind me. What's going on here? There's some book, what the heck is it that we're supposed to talk about? He talked to me.
I think
about
Lexi
last
wanted
week.
to do this.
You guys keep thinking. See if we can figure out what's going on there. There's some
history on tap.
the history that is.
That was last Thursday.
That was last.
Now my daughter
That
and
was
Diana, my
this
wife,
Thursday.
are going to start coming to that.
Oh well, never mind, everybody. Forget all that.
Is that just a one-time thing?
They do it once a month, and so that in my understanding that this time when it's so packed, they have close to 100 people in here.
Wow.
And so they're going to split it up. I think they're going to have a show at 5 and a show at 7
Okay.
in January.
And we're talking about the history.
We should come and do our show then. We're guaranteed 100 people.
Guaranteed 100 people. Everybody be like, I thought we were coming to talk about the great
No,
train
you got
robberies
those
of-
two idiots up there.
Anyway, as you can see, Mike's wearing his Bison sweatshirt. He hates college football. Absolutely hates it. Guess where he was on Saturday? Guess, everybody. Just take one guess. Out watching college football. Because
Well, I have a nephew who is very passionate about it, and a brother-in-law who are both very passionate about it, Terry and Adam, and they invited us out, and they take really good care of us when we show up. And I already got my broom out. They're going to sweep themselves right through another national championship. It'll be
believe
6 and
that.
7 years,
I'm
right?
going to ask our producer to take the back of that camera and tip it up just a little bit, Diana, because it's sneaking. Yeah, go ahead. Nope, the other way. Tip her up. There. Perfect. Thank you. I may have to ask you to do it. See the top knob there, Diana? Right? Nope. Right. Put your hand down right there. Give that a little twist to tighten it.
Tighten it.
Yeah. As tight as it can go. I loosened it up a little bit. Nope, the other way. There you go. No, now we're cooking. Now we'll be set.
You
Thank
could
very
be a
much.
regular on the show from here on out.
There you go. You can come and do that and zoom in and pans out. And
I mean, we got
everything.
roadies, we got followers,
Yeah. So,
we have our technical crew.
so how was the game?
Well, I predicted 52-10.
You did. You were fairly close with the
the
with the
final
margin.
number, but they're just too good. I mean, this is fact. Colgate basically gave up at the end of the first half. They just couldn't move the ball. They couldn't compete. They didn't have the firepower to block the
Bison?
and they couldn't stop the Bison. Bison would move the ball that well, and this was one of the best defenses in the
Yeah.
FCS football. And Colgate, they had this one player, number 21. I bet he made 20 some tackles. He was really good, but the Bison are they're loaded. They got a center that's going to be probably a top 3 round pick, second or third round pick. He is leaving a little early. Their quarterback, Easton Stick, he will get drafted, I would say, between the 5th and the 7th round. He's 6'2", very mobile, has a great arm, has the intangibles. From what I understand about Easton Stick, he's an all-American boy. You know, he's not flashy. He's not the Jared Goff type. He's kind of like Carson Wentz in that he's very grounded. Him and Carson still get along, I guess. They still talk, and this kid, he'll go to lunch and he'll find people. He won't sit with all the players. He'll go sit with the rest of the what do you call it? Student body. He'll sit next to people he doesn't know, and that's amazing stuff. I mean, you get people like that in your schools and universities that has a high profile that basically goes about and says that we're all the same, we're all students here at the North Dakota State University. You get a lot more leaders like that. Our country's going to be a lot better.
I can't disagree with you there. So my question is, this Saturday when they play again, or Friday night, whenever they play again, and I'm not sure, you probably know.
I do Friday
You
night.
got tickets?
It's Friday night.
Friday
no,
night,
I do not.
You're not going? Okay. So if on Friday night I, take the grill out, and I throw some steaks on, and I put some cold beverages outside so they can stay chilled. Are you coming over to watch, or what's? I mean, because
I would.
all I got to do to get you to watch a college football game is to have some tailgating going on, and you're there.
Yeah, tailgate. We got there a little bit late. Darcy drove, probably for the last time. Me or Gerald will be in charge of logistics on getting to and from the game.
Okay.
Love Darcy, but he likes to stop a lot. But anyways, we got there a little late, so our pregame
Festivity.
tailgating wasn't as
Festivus.
long,
Yeah.
which is good. I think we each had two beverages, and that's probably good anyways. And then we had a good day and a good evening, and I was in bed by 10 because I was very tired from getting up at 4 in the morning.
And you had to work the night before, hockey game.
I
on the
did.
radio
It's
the night
just
before.
I go Ringer. There's no end to me. But South Dakota State is a dangerous play
Yeah.
because of the rivalry. No other reason. Now, if they play 10 times, North Dakota State will beat them 9. Okay, but remember about 4 or 5 years ago, it was a Saturday chilly day in the middle of North Dakota, and South Dakota State ended up beating the Bison at South Dakota State. This one will be at Fargo, but I do give South Dakota State a chance because of the rivalry aspect of it.
Well, and I think they're good enough. I think they South Dakota State came in with a little bit of an edge. I think they felt like they were underseeded at 5. They were mad that they didn't get to play at home last week.
Yeah.
So I think they got a little bit of an edge. Obviously, the mental, they get to play the underdog card in this game.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have any business being on the same field, blah, blah, blah. Even though I think they believe that, they can come in and say, well, nobody thinks we can win, so let's let her all hang out. I think it's going to be a great game on Friday night. And to answer your other question is, no, I will not be at home on Friday night.
Okay, one equalizer is the reffing. I mean, the reffing was not good in the Colgate game. I thought it was, they missed a lot of calls.
You want to give that guy the catch?
Oh, that was a catch. But the other one that the North Dakota State fans wanted to reverse, that was not an interception. That definitely hit the ground.
And I can
But
say,
there were some other plays like the on a punt. The guy ran by him. He didn't even come close to him. The ref threw a flag on that. Said it was causing an issue with making the catch, and it had nothing to do with it. And it was the same too. It was the back judge making all 3 bad calls. Okay, so that's always an equalizer. A ref can call a penalty pretty much on any play if he wants, and we'll see if they stay out of
any
that.
penalties as bad as the one on the Philadelphia tight end in the Dallas game from
Ooh,
yesterday?
I heard it was pretty bad. I didn't get to see it because I got.
Well, they always
I'm bad luck, so sometimes I don't watch certain things.
they always talk about the hands got to be extended. The hands got to be extended. Well, the tight end came up and he ran at him and he gave him the swim move and he got hit. The tight end, when he got called for the penalty, the T-back hit him right in the side of the head with his helmet. His helmet was actually unsnapped as he's running down the field, catches the ball, runs into the end zone, and his helmet goes flying because he got hit. And I'm like, he got not only hit once illegally, but he got hit illegally at the end as well.
And then he got called for
And he was the
offense.
only one that got a penalty called on him, and he got called for a penalty that wasn't there.
I did see all over Twitter. It was people that weren't even watching the game who saw it in highlights and said that could have been the worst call in the league this year. So why would he call it?
Rodney called that way on before the Sunday night game last night. Before the game, said it might be the worst call all season.
Why would he call it then?
I would suspect, and this is just my feeling, because the coaches have been saying he's pushing off, he's pushing off, he's pushing off.
Oh, yeah,
Well, even the players
that happens,
say,
yeah.
He's pushing off, he's
Yeah.
pushing off. Well, it just so happens it's a 16-9 game, or whatever it was. I think it was 16-9. I'm going to call it now.
Yeah.
It's kind of thing, and the referees do that kind of thing. And
It's unfortunate.
and it was just one of those things. And then of course at the end of the Dallas game, the unfortunate tried to knock the ball down, pops up in the air, and what's
Unfortunate for who?
Well, if you're a Philly guy, I mean, you hit.
Do you
the
hate
ball.
Dallas as much as you hate Pittsburgh?
Oh yeah. But here, no, and I don't care who. I don't. Matter of fact, in the big scheme of things, it was better that Dallas won for the Vikings because that kept Philly at 6-7 rather than
Yeah.
7-6 or even 6-1. So in that respect, it was good that Dallas won. But Amari Cooper, I mean, he gets 3 touchdowns in the game yesterday, and that one the ball pops up in the air. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, catch it. And even he admitted on the interview after the game, he said, he knew what route I was going to run. He knew I was going to run a slant. He said, I even tried to deke him to the outside, and he was still waiting there. He said he made a good play. It just unfortunately didn't work out for him. And
Speaking of Amari Cooper, did you see the news today?
Nope.
On the Oakland Raiders general manager?
No.
Fired.
Ooh.
Reggie McKenzie, gone.
They beat Pittsburgh yesterday. What?
Yeah.
Well,
I think it had a little bit to do with Cooper's
yeah.
last 3 out of 4 games, then Khalil Mack dominating the defensive side of the ball for Chicago last night.
Yeah, could have something to do with
Pretty
that.
scary, yeah. It's well, Gruden didn't want him.
Yeah, and
Gruden says he needs some players, and the only way we're going to get them is with draft picks. And we're not even with Mack and Cooper this year and next year. We're not a Super Bowl team. We need to be a Super Bowl team 5 years from now.
okay.
Gruden's
Well,
no
there it
dummy.
is.
He's building a winning atmosphere. Knocks off Pittsburgh, big upset. So some good fun football, some really boring football yesterday. But geez, that New England-Miami game, Philadelphia-Dallas, the second half was outstanding. Pittsburgh Raiders, they're all over the place. Right
Kansas City, Baltimore was
Great
fairly
game.
exciting.
Again, a lot of mistakes in that one, and that's what it seems to be. The team that's making the most mistakes is usually the one losing now, not
so
the ones
did you
who.
watch last night's game?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it was tough.
it was tough watching. I agree. That's why I didn't watch it. So, was it cold weather? Was it Chicago's defense? How come the Rams can only put up 6 points on a set? I mean, should we?
I hate to admit,
I would like you to say, you want to put Kirk Cousins under the bus because
Yeah.
he doesn't play well in prime time.
Yeah.
Jared Goff apparently didn't play very
Well,
well.
they each throw like 3 or 4 interceptions apiece, so I guess maybe it was a little chilly, but you got to prepare for that. I think it was just both defenses were really good. They were better than the offenses, but that Tyreek Cohen, he's a dangerous player. Wow, it's kind of like Tyreek Hill as a running back from the Kansas City Chiefs. But I don't know. We'll see. Vikings tonight. What do you think? Who's going to win that one?
It's going to be very close. It's going to be tight. It probably, unfortunately, will probably come down to a kicker. I hate to say it. And,
In Seattle.
in Seattle, the whole, last time these two teams played, wild card round,
Yeah.
20, blah, blah, blah. I think the Vikings find a way. I don't know how. I don't know why. I think we've been talking about if Diggs isn't healthy, get him off the field.
Yeah.
Get somebody out there that is healthy. I think they find a way. I think they got to play with a little. Well, both teams are playing with that playoff urgency right now. Both teams are in the playoffs, but you kind of give yourself an edge here with a win tonight. And I just feel somehow, some way, the Vikings are going to win it like 23-21 or something. That
Fair
it's
enough.
going to come down to a miss or made field goal as the you're going to make me stay up until 10:45 in overtime or something to make it happen or something. But
Yeah, even after tonight, both teams are still in the playoffs, regardless of the outcome. But I got Seattle winning. I hate to say it. I just
at home,
the
difference.
Vikings just don't have it right now, and they got to get it back because it plays a big part on who wins and who loses games.
and is that it on the offensive side of the ball, defensive side of the ball?
I
all
a little
sides
of
the ball?
both. I think the offensive side triggers the defensive side. Defense needs to play pretty much perfect. Doesn't seem like the Vikings can get off to good starts. They never seem to score in their first drives anymore. I don't know. I just am not. I was talking to a couple of our friends here before the game. I'm just not a Cousins guy. Again, I'm not a lot of people's guy, but
I was going to say, who's in that besides Antonio Brown and?
I just like gamers, and I just have always looked at Cousins as not being that gamer.
And one of your favorite gamers isn't going to play a game this year because he's what's the right word? Greedy.
Oh, Le'Veon
arrogant?
Bell.
Yeah, you're good.
Well,
for
he's. I don't know if he's a gamer. I would say he's very talented.
Okay. That's fair
It's hard to say he's a gamer when Connors can go out and do the same thing you did as a running back, and that's why it's really hard for football teams to pay running backs 15 to 16 million a year because their replacement can pretty much do what they do. It's all based on the schemes, the offensive system, the offensive line. I was getting there.
Took you three
And-
things to get the right answer.
And the
That's
quarterback. I mean, there you go. Delvin Cook has to have a big game tonight, over 100 yards. The Vikings win. Under 100 yards, they lose. But I still think
For
that
the team or just for Delvin?
just for Delvin alone.
Wow.
They are going to pound the ball today. And I think Seattle knows that, unfortunately. They don't want to put the ball in Cousins' hands, even though he's getting paid $28 million a year. Is that how much he's getting paid?
$28 million, yes, I think that's the number that he's getting paid. He needs to have the ball. Anyway, how'd your fantasy team do?
All alone in second place. I think Team Davis, Todd Bush, looks like I think he's going to get his very first IFFL title, which
regular
is good.
Season title?
It's good to see a good person get it. He's a really not that there's nobody in our league that aren't good persons, but Todd Bush is a good person.
Look at this guy.
Well, he owns a local store, and he's just he's just nice with everything. It doesn't matter when, where, how, why. He's a good person. I don't mind if I don't win the title that he does.
Yes, you do. That's a lie. Pure lie. You don't care if you don't win the title?
Well, I hated Todd once.
This is the guy who spends 47 hours a week looking over Twitter, who's on the injury list.
Believe me, there's nothing on Twitter on fantasy advice. I'll tell you that.
You don't care if you win.
Well, no, I didn't like Todd the one week I played him. He might be all that in the bag, but I'm not. The week we were playing him, he had really good matchups, and I actually was favored to win the game, but a couple of my guys took the week off, and so there's 3 weeks left, and I should finish in the top. Well, pretty much top 5. I'm hoping to finish in the top 4.
Okay. Before we leave the football topic, Vikings, you say lose tonight.
Yeah.
Do they make the playoffs?
No.
No. Who's making it in the playoffs? The Eagles, who you were high on last
I still think the Eagles were on the table. They will finish at
9-7.
9-7 and get in.
And the Vikings can't get to 9-6.
I don't see it, Ringer. I don't see it. The only way they will is if Chicago wins again next week, solidifies,
Chicago wins,
and they that helped the Vikings' case last night by Chicago winning.
Because Chicago might be able to take the last week off.
Yeah, and that would be the chance. But Vikings will beat Miami, and they should beat Detroit, but it's at Detroit. Now, it's always a fear. But if they do lose one of the games, it will be to Detroit at Detroit.
Let's move on to Mike's favorite topic, the Minnesota Wild. And where are you going to go with this?
I hate to tell people I told you so.
With that,
did I not?
you did tell us.
Even when they were running that little 7-9 or 8-10, I said they are still who they are. It's the same team we've had the last 4 years, minus we got Fair instead of Cullen, JT Brown again instead of Winnick. I mean, that fourth line interchanges, but our core players, 3, 16, 64, 24, these guys aren't, 22, they aren't. I look at it this way, Ringer. When Koivu, Stahl, and Parise are still your best players overall, are they not?
Probably, on most nights, yes.
Okay, they're still our best players. They're all in their 30s. Because these core players that Chuck got fired over just have not. I mean, look at Eck. He's another example of the atmosphere that's around the Minnesota Wild. They just don't get to the next level. I think they refuse to want to get to the next level. I don't know if they, like Charlie Coyle holds like a big meeting and says, listen guys, we're in the big show. We can all be average. We'll be golfing a lot earlier. That's who we are. But I don't know. It's really stupid. But I just don't. And I look at Greenway, and we had this conversation. I mentioned he should be a lot meaner, and he's built like a Charlie Coyle, and he's just, here we go again. We got another. Show me any nastiness out of any Minnesota Wild player. There isn't any.
Well, Foligno tried a little bit.
Well, Foligno's, he's a soft man.
What about
Sealer's got some nastiness, but he's our 5th or 6th D. I mean, he doesn't get out on the ice. He hasn't played well the last month. He was playing really well early on, and I don't know. I have the confidence in their coach. I do like him. He will not take they will not get rid of him. Okay, and Fenton is figuring it out. He's figuring out what these players are made of right now.
So
when there's animosity, problems, when they're losing a few games in a row, that's when the GM can look at the players and say, okay, I want him. I definitely don't want him. Okay, puppy dog eyes. I don't want him. And that's that. He's evaluating these players right now.
So when does he pull the trigger? Is this wait till the All-Star break?
He might not.
Might not pull the trigger?
No, might not, unless somebody comes to him. He's not going to show that I want to get rid of these guys.
Okay, so you're hoping, and I know what you're kind of hoping for, but you're hoping that he doesn't pull the trigger because you'd like to see the Wild you'd like to see him get a top 5 pick.
Absolutely, they need a top 5 pick.
They need a top 5 pick.
We still don't get Kaprizov, who is a difference maker until 2020-21. So that's two years down the road, and that will help. And then whoever they can get in this year's draft, I doubt they can get up to that number 1 for that the young kid out of Michigan. But they need to hit rock bottom. Finishing in the playoffs as a 14 to 16 seed every year, you're picking 18 to 20 every year then. So you're not getting the high-end player. You're getting good players like Ek, but Ek, I mean, come on. He should be our Koivu now. Koivu should be a third-line guy, but Ek doesn't want to take over that spot. Or, for some reason, doesn't have the confidence enough in his play to take over that spot. Okay, and you can look at all them guys, those same 6 to 8 guys that should be running the Minnesota Wild team right now. There isn't one of them. Dumba maybe. I like Dumba. You know, you better get used to it. If people get down on him because of defensive mistakes, just let it go. He's going to make them. That's his makeup. But Dumba's a great player, and I think he's starting to take over some leadership there. But other than that, that's why I'm not a fan of this team. I just don't like the makeup, and I don't like what's on it.
NHL adds their 32nd team for 2 or 3 years down the road. Did they
Same rules, I guess.
Did they choose the right city, first of all?
Seattle, they've failed many times. They couldn't keep their Supersonics, and something happened there. And of course, the Seattle Pilots went to Milwaukee, and Seahawks seems strong. And
so you're saying they should have picked Quebec City?
No, I didn't say that. Quebec City would have been okay, but obviously they couldn't support it the last time either. You got to be careful. They tried Atlanta again. Seattle's never been out there. It makes for an automatic rivalry with Vancouver, which is good, and the rest of the West Coast teams. And also, I think this opens up Seattle getting an NBA team back. So
I think I can agree with you there. The NBA will get to 32 as well, just like the other sports. And I think the big thing was, the NHL looked at Quebec City and said, "Yeah, it'd be great, but if we put them over there, who are we gonna push out of the East?" And it would have probably been Detroit, which would have been a good fit for Minnesota and Chicago and them. But I think they looked at the divisions and go, "Well, the hole is in the West. Let's go fill the hole in the West. We'll move somebody over Arizona, whoever's going to get moved over into the Central and
Arizona,
and they'll have everything set up over there." And the next question was going to be, are the rules going to be the same as Vegas? And apparently they've already decided.
Yes, the same, which surprised me. I didn't think they would be that lenient. The only, I guess, thing with that is Las Vegas does not have to leave anybody.
Really?
Yeah, they're free from having to offer anybody up.
It's going to be like in 2 years.
But I guarantee you there won't be like the last one. There won't be a bunch of deals being made. They're going to say, take who you want. We don't care. Yeah. So in other words, Tuck and Hollow won't be offered to Vegas, so they won't take Scandella or Dumba or whatever.
Right.
So that won't happen next time. All the teams will just say, take who you want. We'll make up for it. So all the teams learn their lesson. You can look at that whole Vegas team and say, wow, that team was built on all the insider trading that was done prior to the teams leaving guys unprotected. But so too bad for Seattle.
Yeah, and Vegas not sitting so well in the standings. So
no, they've been winning. They won like 8 of 10.
But they were down so far, they got to find their way out of it. I mean,
they'll be flying by Minnesota here real shortly.
Flying by. The Knights will be going by. Okay. Anything else you want to talk about in the NHL?
No, I don't want to talk about the NHL. I don't even watch the Wild. Do I, Diana? I don't watch them. I can't watch them because I get so frustrated watching it. Because I just watch a guy and say he doesn't care.
So now you watch the NBA.
No.
Now you watch the Timberwolves because you're going to be up after the Vikings get done at 10 2:35 tonight.
Yeah.
The Wolves are playing at Golden State tonight, and you're going to turn it over there and you're going to watch the Timberwolves till like midnight.
No, I think TV's pretty much out of my life. I just think it's just me and Diana on a
On an island?
Friday night.
Yeah.
Pair of jeans that fit just right.
Oh, my goodness.
And a lot of them all don't fit just right anymore.
Yeah. Anyway, so there's our talk about the NBA. Would you like to talk about the Gopher volleyball team for a moment? Would you?
No, you were the one that.
Would you like to say?
You were the one
I told
that's.
you so. I knew it was.
Well,
gonna
no, you were just earth shattered by it. And I
I
go.
was. I am.
When are we
I'm
going to
still
learn that these Gopher teams all get overrated or overseeded? Nebraska didn't seem to have problems with Oregon.
No, they did not.
3 straight. Blew them off the court. Is that what they call it?
Yeah, I would say that's a good way of saying it.
But we have 6 All-Americans, so
We did.
we should be automatically placed into the finals.
I would think that would be pretty close. Illinois, also from the Big Ten, those two teams play the second game on Thursday night, and BYU and Stanford from out west. So there's your semifinals.
BYU, Stanford.
Stanford on one side and Nebraska, Illinois on the other side.
I'll take Stanford right now.
Yeah, they're the number 1 seed. Way to go out on a limb.
Well, no, I didn't know that.
But BYU was ranked number 1 most of the season and had one of their players.
So they
get
got the
hurt.
2 best teams playing each other in the
Possibly
summer.
the 2 best teams playing because BYU had one of their main players get injured right before the tournament started, and so they seeded them a little bit lower.
Can the Gopher volleyball team say, well, geez, we still are really good because the 2 teams that are in the Final Four we beat this year? Can they say that?
Well, they have that argument, but they also lost to Stanford and didn't play BYU. So, yeah, it's there. I mean, it's anyway.
Gophers got 3 of 4 against Michigan hockey. That's a banner weekend for the
Well,
Gopher
for the
hockey
Gophers,
team.
yeah. Anytime they get W's, I think that's a big deal. UMB didn't do so well. My dogs had a tough
Western
weekend.
Michigan.
Well, you got a fluky goal at the end of regulation.
Did they count it?
Yes, they counted.
Okay.
Still can be fluky.
Yeah.
So
Well, I've told you this. I like Sando, and I like what he does there. He's one of the few coaches that doesn't overcoach anymore. He lets his players go.
and he's got some good ones. They had some guys get injured. Captain got injured, and a couple of guys on Friday night, so they were really short-handed. But injuries are part of the game. You got to fill in, and they have lots of depth. They just things just didn't go their way this past weekend. And
Trying to think.
Go for basketball. The women got a nice win, comeback win at Boston College yesterday, and the men a good comeback win against Nebraska on what? Thursday,
That was a good win.
Wednesday or Thursday night.
Nebraska's top 25, aren't they?
Yeah, they were 24th, and I actually got to watch part of it on replay. I don't know when I was home, but I was apparently at some point, and turned it on, and they were down 56-44, and I'm like,
Wow.
they come back and win this thing? And again, it was one of those things. Oh, it's too late. Let's go to bed. There's other things to get
I
done.
heard Coffee. They took him off the point, shooting lights out. I saw the other night. Was it against the Arkansas Central team or whatever?
Arkansas State. Yep.
Isaiah Washington played 6 minutes.
Wow. 6.
So I see him possibly transferring out because we got that point guard from Pittsburgh who played at Pittsburgh last year. He'll be coming in next year because the NCAA will let it go now. But I see Isaiah probably leaving the Gophers.
In theory, it's probably a good thing for him, and for both sides.
Yeah.
If he does, there's a lot of splash there and whatever that he was going to be the next, I don't know, whoever. And
Trent Tucker? Trent was at a point.
Trent was a 3-point shooter. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. Anyway, having said that, what else? What's
I don't know. I think that's about it. Really don't have anything else. The bowl stuff, that'll start this coming week all over the country. Make sure you turn on your favorite channel and watch boring college football.
So we'll have a show next week.
Yeah.
And then we're going to take Christmas Eve off and New Year's Eve.
Yeah, we'll take a
I
couple
think
weeks
that would be
off.
good. And then we'll come back the day of the national championship game.
Oh, that'll be a good night.
We'll get that all hashed out, and then when you watch the show after the game's been over for like 12 hours, you can decide if we were totally out of our minds or we hit it right on the head.
And I think they already know the answer to that.
You think they think we're nuts, or they know we're
Well, they know I am. Yeah, they definitely know you kind of got your marbles still.
Yes. Lloyd, Anything? He doesn't think so. No? Karen? Diana,
Yeah.
you want to get a final shot in here at him? Because you got a chance right here. We can do it.
Are the Twins doing the right thing?
Are the Twins doing the right thing?
What did they just do? Oh, the first baseman and the second baseman. I'll let Ringer tackle that one.
What is his name? Jonathan Snoop? Shoop.
Yeah.
Who?
They're not booing, they're saying shoo.
Shoop. Yeah. He was an all-star apparently at one time, but he's lost his, he's Chuck Knobloch or?
Has some power. No, he can throw the ball to second base. Yeah, it's not a throwing problem.
Not a throwing problem. He's got,
Well, he can just, should we do the old cliche?
yeah, sure, why not? This
Needs a new scenery.
he needs a change of scenery.
There you go.
Yes,
That's
thank
what
you.
I'm saying.
And the first baseman, what's his name? I have no clue. None.
I can't remember
But
it.
apparently he
30 home runs.
Apparently he hit 30 home runs, so he's the new Lomo.
Lomo.
I'm going to throw that.
That's according to Will Heyer. Lomo. Really? Well,
Throw poor Will right underneath the bus when he's not here to defend himself.
yeah.
So
Well, he's used to
yeah,
that.
I think the Twins, you know, there really isn't a big splash maybe to make out there. I mean, unless you're going to sign somebody for $227 million.
Still need a reliever. Probably need one more starter. They got big. Who's that one starter we got coming back after his Tommy John surgery? Got a big write-up in this Minneapolis Strip. Could be a number two.
We do.
Again, I should have did research before I even brought it up, because if you don't know the answer to what you just brought up, then you
You were
shouldn't
hoping
bring
that
it.
I knew, but I don't.
I apologize.
The Twins baseball is kind of off the radar. It's down here somewhere.
Yeah,
right now.
that was not even seen.
That's why I'm trying to tell. That's exactly. If I could have gone lower without hurting myself, I probably would have.
I have nothing else. Nothing than go Bison.
Go Bison. Thanks, everybody.